All right, everyone, the time is here. We've got phase 2 for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle events live inside the game, and this is an important moment. This is one of the biggest moments, especially for you new players out there that don't have a Mythic adventure already, and for people who have been playing for a while. This is a great way to get some stats that you otherwise really find a difficult time actually acquiring. So let's not waste any time. Let's dive straight into it. Honestly, this event's overall pretty simple. We'll start with the Foot Clan's Revenge. This is basically just a guild boss. You should just do it every day. Don't need to really worry about it too much. Try to get as much damage as possible. It's going to give you some gems. There's a leaderboard and some ranking rewards. Get some inheritance books if you're really good at it. Great. Don't really care about this one too much. Just do it every day. You have the daily sign in, pretty self-explanatory. Just sign in every day. You have the street mobilization, which is just kind of doing playing the game and spending these tokens here, which is another event. And as you are spending these tokens, you'll get more tokens and more gems, which is kind of the whole point of this, right? Of course, this is a really, really nice thing to pick up if you want extra tokens, as well as, that S rank brand. Nice little side note there. We have some packs to get you some extra tokens, as well as some ninja gifts to send out to people. But what does this all mean? There's even some ways to pick up some extra shards of Michelangelo and Donatello, by the way. Even some Arcana. So if you're curious about the packs, that's there. But really, this all ends up at the Gacha Raid, because this is where the whole event basically takes place. There's a couple parts to this. The first part is you just basically acquire these tokens, you spin, and you have a chance to get these rewards at the top. Pretty straightforward. As you go along, you'll get some gifts. These gifts that you could send out when you do have them will increase your luck. And as you're spinning, you'll also increase your luck. Now, with that luck, you'll enter into a lucky mode when you reach the maximum amount. And that lucky mode will go ahead and give you access to the two unique drops, which is the Donatello tokens and the Michelangelo tokens. Now, it looks like Michelangelo is the far likelier one to pick up at 15% versus the Donatello, which is at 5% for one time. So Michelangelo is going to be the easier one to acquire, but both of these, aren't super easy to acquire. So this is how you're going to get your new adventurers, because the Donatello and Michelangelo both require 60 shards or 60 tokens to unlock them fully. You also get access to more heavy punch badges, so it's basically just you want to get to the lucky mode as much as possible to get more currency, more shards, and really get the most out of this event. Again, send as many gifts as you can and just farm up these tokens. How do you get the tokens? Well, they're from the tasks, and I don't even know where I saw the tasks last time, but they're somewhere around here to get your Gacha Raid tokens. I don't even know. There we go. Tasks right here. Under the obtain raid tokens, you can see the tasks. Just doing basically normal game stuff. Opening chests, opening eggs, drawing equipment, making purchases, playing the game. That's basically all you have to do. And then we get to the reward shop, and this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So first things first, you maintain your resources from phase 1, and you also will have all these resources in red jackets and heavy punch badges transition over to phase 3. Which is really important. Now, with this, you can see there is no, if you were playing during phase 1, hard purchase of a single adventure. In the past, you could buy 60 tokens for a discount, right? But this time, you have to spend every shard or every token that you want of these adventures cost 40 heavy punch badges. So if you do the math, we got 60 times 40, which puts you at 2,400 heavy punch badges in order to unlock a single adventurer. Same thing with Leonardo and Raphael in the past, although you could get access to a basically full copy of them for I think like 1,600 heavy punch badges. We also have the unique mount, the Flyer number 1, which gives you some global HP and speed. Honestly, this isn't a horrible decision, but I would really focus on these adventurers. And honestly, every other part of the heavy punch badges don't matter. I wouldn't even think about picking up anything else in this shop. I would be purely focusing on these adventures because they're extremely, who knows if they're going to come back. And you want to at least unlock a copy of each. My advice, if you plan on playing this long term, this game, get at least a copy of Michelangelo and Donatello. That would be my goal. If you are someone that's looking to progress, my goal is to get a 1-star version of Michelangelo and a 1-star version of Donatello if I can. That's my goal. Why? Because the 1-star variants are going to upgrade all of your other adventurers' stats. That's why. It's a huge bonus. Now, for Michelangelo and Donatello, both of these actually look pretty solid. You get a little bit of basic damage, basics attack changing things up. with Michelangelo, and for Donatello, it looks to be not based on combo encounters, just straight up normal attacks. I'm not really sure where these fit yet. I've gone through the skills and I've kind of looked at them. Some of them, supposedly one of them is supposed to be based on counterattacks, one of them is supposed to be based on skill damage. And you can kind of see that here where this is, getting a bunch of skill damage from Donatello, and then Michelangelo looks to be more based on, counterattack. It looks like a little bit, but I'm going to let the experts figure out what you're going to be using these for, or if there's a weapon specifically that Michelangelo and Donatello work for. I don't have them. I don't have the weapons to test them. I'm not on a test server. Otherwise, I would totally do that. So I'm just going to kind of wait for that information. I won't be able to let you know whether or not you should get Michelangelo versus Donatello in terms of what build you're running. As I said, that information I'll show when the other people, the experts, have done the tests. Now, we did note that from this gacha raid, Michelangelo was a little bit easier to acquire. So it looks like out of the two between Michelangelo and Donatello, you will be able to get Michelangelo a little bit easier to 1-star. So that should be your goal. You can also pick up Leonardo and Raphael tokens, which is what this makes it very interesting. If you are someone that is looking to utilize all these adventures, you may want to just get a copy of each of them. With the new residence system, we may not have these guys return besides phase 3, which I do think all 4 of them will return for phase 3 because Leonardo and Raphael both return for phase 2. So if you're interested in, giving the most options for your build, you could still buy each of these adventurers and then utilize the residence system for whichever one you're using for your build. What is the residence system? It's the system that allows you to use one of your highly upgraded adventures and transition those star levels and levels onto another adventure for you to utilize. So that's kind of the thought process here. Will I be going for another Leonardo? I'm considering it, but it's going to be on a lower priority list because, again, I could farm up all this stuff and try hard to go for Leonardo, but I have the guaranteed option of being able to progress Dragon Girl and then resonate over to Leonardo if I'm still going to use Leonardo, right? So I'm not going to worry about trying to get past the 1-star variants. That's my ultimate goal. Again, I would preserve all of your heavy punch badges unless you're able to get that 1-star tokens from, or 1-star adventure from Michelangelo and Donatello. That's what I would do, because there's going to be a phase 3 for you to spend them potentially on some really good stuff as well. If you are someone that's playing short term and you're just looking to get the most progression possible, I mean, flyer number 1 giving you a global HP percent is pretty nice. I would kind of skip most of this stuff. I wouldn't go for the collectibles or any awakening cores. The limited brands always pretty solid. The S Epic Legacy always pretty solid. The gear and weapon selection, if you're really interested in them, all decent. I mean, this stuff I just wouldn't bother with. I'm literally going pure adventure. But the normal exchange is a lot different. Here you have access to things like the inheritance books, which are great. The Epic Legacy box, not the S Epic Legacy, just the regular Epic Legacy box. You have the Epic Mount Core selections, so you can upgrade your mounts. I mean, these are all great. I would always go for legendary keys, always go for the wishing scrolls, and always go for the elite packs. Period. Those are the kind of 3. The new gem keys are actually really solid. I'm going to consider getting those as well. There's the heavy punch badges. I would actually recommend potentially picking these up, because this is essentially 2 tokens for an adventure. So if you're reasonably close, or you expect to get a similar amount of heavy punch badges next time with the same conversion rate, well, guess what? This extra 100 might push you to a 1-star adventure, because you could probably pick these up the next time phase 3 comes around. So my priority list for this shop: legendary keys, wishing scrolls, elite packs, heavy punch badges, gem keys. I'm definitely going to get the Epic Legacy box. And then after that, I'm probably going to go for whatever mount core is going to give me the most speed. That's my goal. That's my game plan. Inheritance box also, in there. I could go for a random insignia, but I'm not really going to want to gamble a whole lot on what I could get, what I couldn't get. Just guaranteed progression is kind of what I'm looking for. I have a lot of extra red jackets, so I can immediately pick up like wishing scrolls right now, right? Boom, wishing scrolls done. This is again from phase 1. Legendary keys already done, picked up. I'm going to pick up the elite packs. Boom, already finished. Already got the 3 that I said I was immediately going to get. So I'm already completed with that. Gem keys, going to pick up those. Great. So I literally picked up all those ones that I wanted to pick up, and I'm sitting pretty. Now it's time to farm up for the inheritance books, epic legacy, and whatever cores I want to pick up. This normal red jacket purchases, honestly, don't need to worry about this all that much, mainly because there's not any crazy unique rewards from this. It's just like standard progression stuff. This event's really good. You get like unique progression with the adventurers and mounts, and then you get standard progression with like inheritance books and gem keys and legendary keys like we're used to. So really, really nice one, and I'm really excited about this event. There's a lot here. By the way, if you are looking to obtain more tokens here, it is looking like you can whoops, I didn't mean to do that. You can hit this little plus button here, and you can pick up a ton of them. If you look here, I can spend upwards of 100,000 gems. Will I do this? 100%. Like I said, save up your 100k gems for this event. This event's very, very important. The adventures are incredibly important. Getting that 1 star when you can is incredibly important. And I'm immediately going in. That's literally all my gems, and I made it perfectly. Now, I'm not going to say all my gems, because I do have 188 gem chests, and I know they don't count towards the gem unlocks. It just makes me happy to see a bunch of them. I'll probably use them so that I can go for the big adventure. For those of you out there, I've had a couple of questions. Should I be going for the big adventure, or should I be saving, you know, for the Leonardos, Raphaels, all that stuff? I would say if you have to make a choice, wait as long as you possibly can. Like, wait out this 4 days, see how many tokens you can gather up, see how close you are to getting a mythic adventure. And if you're very, very close, the fact that you're like close to getting this mythic adventure, I would probably just still go for Dragon Girl. I myself am gonna pick up the 100 adventure logs, and the reason I say that is because one of the things about this is, even though Dragon Girl is something that, you know, it's a known quantity, it might not be as good for some builds, it's a guaranteed way to progress your adventures. With the resident system, you know that Dragon Girl is going to be able to get more and more stars. For example, right now, as of my account, I have Dragon Girl at 1 star. So I can go for the Leonardo for 2 stars, or I could just pick up the Dragon Girl upgrade, and now I have a 2-star Dragon Girl, which I know I can continuously upgrade because her event's going to continuously come back around. This is going to be a big bonus for me. So I'm just going to focus on getting Dragon Girl still, no matter what. I think this is just generally a good plan for everyone in the game. Yes, the adventures from the Ninja Turtles are important. Yes, I still recommend it for you to get 1 copy. There's going to be a phase 3. It looks like we can pick up those copies then as well. I would try to still get your big adventure every single time it pops up. I still think it's that important, just because it's guaranteed way to progress your adventures. This is the only event as of right now that you can kind of guarantee to get those mythic adventurer stars. We don't know if the other Ninja Turtles are going to come back after the phase 3. We don't know. They may show up in a harder to acquire resource area. But one thing is certain, is that big adventure is in the game, and it is on a cycle, and it is going to give you guaranteed progression. So I would, if you have a choice, I would still try to go for big adventure, and then still any remaining gems, try to pick up at least one of the adventures to get that, you know, bonus for you now. If you are just starting out, you're probably not going to be able to get your Dragon Girl. So if you can, try to get at least one of those adventures. Michelangelo is probably going to be the easiest one because of the extra chances. So you can pick up Michelangelo, immediately start using that, and that's going to be a huge progression bonus for you. For you veterans out there, just try to get as many of the adventures as possible and try to get them to 1 star as much as you possibly can. That's the goal. With all that said, hopefully this will help you out in terms of trying to maximize your rewards and maximize your value from this event. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Let me know if there's any comments, concerns, questions, additions, comments, whatever thing you want to mention in the comments down below. I'm curious. I'm going to be reading through them, because this is a key moment in the game's history. This is going to be these events, these little oh my gosh, what do you call the events when you pull in another franchise? Collaborations. Collaboration events are huge usually. So hopefully you're going to get a big upgrade like I will. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all for the next one.